Hello, my AI students. So here we have a program. It says cooldrinks.ipynb, right? And here's the cooldrinks.csv data. Let's just have a look at that data. Let's see if I can see it out here. Oh, there we go. So the data is, if you're 10 years old, I said 1 is female, you're allowed to drink Coca-Cola. 13 years old, and gender is 1, it's denominated by that you're female, Coca-Cola, and goes on and on and on. If you're 21 years old, you male. So I say 1 is male. 1 for female. Oh, there we go. 1 for female, then you can drink ginger beer. Let's look at the next page. It says, if you're 26-year-old and a female, then you're allowed to have appetizer. And so forth. All right. So here's the let's close this cooldrink.csv command separated value, and let's look at the code. So the first line I have import pandas as PD. Now pandas is panel data, and PD is, you can think of it as an alias, right? So pandas is the library, and I'm using it to manipulate data, and I want to analyze data. Now the next line says from sklearn.tree import decision tree classifier. This imports the decision tree classifier. Now, something I spoke about classification methods in the journal article. I want you to read and listen to my previous video. Where does this decision tree classifier comes from, right? Scikit-learn's, it's a tree module. This is a machine learning module or model that's used to classify data based on decision rules. Now the next line says cooldrink_data is equal to pd.read_csv. This is where I read that CSV file from, right? Now that CSV file was written in, you can look at it as being an Excel table, and there were 3 columns. I think it was age, gender, and the type of cool drink that we were allowed to drink. So maybe we said that, once you're over 21, 22, maybe you can drink beer. Not you now, 40 you can drink. I mean ginger beer. So now we load this data into the data frame, and we're calling the data frame cooldrink_data. Let's look at the next line. X is equal to cooldrink_data_ or full stop drop, and that's where we drop that column of cool drinks, right? So if I looked at the initial CSV file, let's find the CSV file. There's the CSV file. So that line would say drop this cool drinks column, right? So we're only going to look at age column and gender column, right? Let's close that, and let's close this cool drink column so we can see. I'm include that screen. It says I got that drop. X is equal to, right, so next one is Y. This is a small letter y, right? Note the capital letter X and the small letter y. So where I got the X is equal to cooldrink data dot drop columns is equal to cool drinks, I created a feature matrix X by dropping the cool drink column, and that matrix only had the first row and the first column, sorry, and the second column. Okay, so let's look at the next line of code. It says small letter y is equal to cool drink data, and they've taken cool drinks. All right, so what happens there is that cool drinks is the target variable, and that's what you're trying to predict, right? So you're basically trying to say, if you're a certain age and you're a certain gender, what kind of cool drink you'll drink. And so where you say y is equal to cooldrink_data, and you got cool drinks, In the square bracket, you are extracting the target vector y, which contains the label types of cool drinks, and this is what the model will predict. Okay, let's go and train the model now. So the model is equal to decision tree classifier, and this is where you must read about decision tree classifier in the machine learning journal article that I sent to you. Where I say model is equal to decision tree classifier, this line over here, I'm initializing a new instance of decision tree classifier. And can you see these round brackets here? They're open and closing. No parameters are passed. So it basically uses whatever the default settings was given to it. Let's look at the next one. So model.fit, open round bracket, capital X, small letter y. So we said capital X trains the decision tree model using the feature matrix capital X and the target vector small letter y. That's just the way we write, okay? The model predicts patterns in the data to make future predictions. Now, I just made this a little bit easier for you to understand, where I have please enter your age and an input statement. And if you remember our C++ code from semester 1, I'm storing this value in a variable called age, and I'm also storing gender. Note you must enter either 1 or 0 for male, right? Because we're making predictions on age and gender. And the next line of code says, enter 1 for male. Oh yeah, we got that one. That's a comment statement, right? That hash. Comment simply guides the user on what input to enter. And predictions. This uses the trained model to predict the type of cool drink based on the user's age and gender. So it takes the data from cooldrink.csv and it uses the data to predict whether it is the user will have Coke, Fanta, or whatever the case is. And finally, it predicts whether you can drink a particular cool drink. So let's run this program now, right? Let's run the program. There's my little samosa. I'll run it. Please enter your age. So I am 30 years old and I am a male. All right, so gender, what did we say? 1 for female and 0 for male. Let's run 0 for male. 0, which is male. And the model predicts that I can drink appetizer. Right, so let's run this code again. Let's run the code again. Enter your age. This time I'm going to say I'm 5 years old. And the gender is female, which is 1. And the model predicts that, oh, you can drink Coca-Cola. Let's run the program again. I'm 7 years old. And I am 0 for male. Pepsi Cola, right? So you must have a look at this in terms of what the data is giving. All right, I hope you like this video and hope you can read through it and go through it and try it on your own. All right, I'll share this with you. All right, good luck. Happy studying.